Do you find yourself falling in love lately? Thinking about a singular person for hours, wishing you could be with them all the time? Everywhere you go or turn, they are just there and you cannot seem to help yourself. You happen to find them in every other thing. Someone's smile, a person's handshake, another's physique, a familiar voice or mannerism. You wonder where they are, what they're doing and who they're with. When you tire of that, you go on to fantasizing about what your life would be like together. You think about the places you would visit, the adventures you would have, and the things you would do together, the words you will whisper in their ears. And at night, your subconscious mind takes over and continues from where you stopped during the day. You might even have dreams where he proposes to you or she accepts your proposal and you get married with kids. You do not want to wake from such dreams except you can make them a reality. At that moment or period, you are having the most wonderful feeling anyone could dream of, and nothing could be better as far as you're concerned. Well, that is if your love is being reciprocated. Otherwise, you might end up feeling rejected and broken. Regardless, we sometimes cannot help how or who we fall in love with. It just happens, and in a twinkling of an eye, you're already in head over heels in love. However, there is a thin line between a healthy attachment and obsessively thinking about someone. The Bible teaches moderation in all things, and that includes our thoughts of someone. There are so many reasons why this is wrong and should be curtailed. Perhaps you want to stop thinking about someone, but you cannot help yourself. The best way to deal with the problem is to uproot it from its roots. Knowing the cause of a problem, in this case your obsession with someone else, would help you know how to deal with it. So what exactly attracts us to people to the extent that we think about them always, even to a point of obsession? Why do we make some people the focus of our lives and think about them all day? Let us look at a few points here. Number 1, you love them. One sign that you love someone is that you constantly think about them. This is the most obvious reason for which you constantly think about a person. Sometimes you might not even know why. It's like an automatic process. Your brain itself pushes you to think about them since your heart is connected. As the Bible says, where your treasure is, there also your heart will be. The perfect example we have is the love of God has for us. So much is the love God has for humanity that the psalmist had to say in Psalm 8:4, "What is man that you are mindful of him, and the son of earthborn man that you care for him?" For no other reason but his love, God thinks about us day and night. There is nothing that he needs from us or that we can give to make up for his love, yet he loves us. When you love someone, it's natural that you think of them because you care. If you are in a relationship, it's natural that you think about that person and dream about them. However, if your thoughts are running to a point of obsession and it begins to interfere with your normal functioning, you should watch it. It's nice to know that you have someone in your thoughts and it makes them feel special. But if you make them your whole world, they may find it suffocating and will most likely run away. Remember that everything should be in moderation, and even more importantly, nobody should take the place of God in your life. It is okay to think about someone because you genuinely love them, as long as you do not let it distract you from what is important. Number 2, you are lonely. When people are lonely, they tend to do more thinking than living. They also tend to cling to anyone that comes around them and crave attention. Since there is no other person in their life, their thoughts automatically turn to that one individual they can connect with. Their days are filled with memories of the times they have shared or fantasies of future dates. Sometimes it might even be someone they do not dare to talk to, or someone they had previously had a relationship with in the past. It might as well be someone they're currently dating or courting. Whatever the case, loneliness can be the cause of obsessively thinking about someone. The best thing to do is get out and socialize. Meet people and stay in the company of those that will make you feel good about yourself. The less lonely you become, the less you'll be obsessed with a particular person. Besides, you have less time to be by yourself and indulge those thoughts. If it is someone you have never had a conversation with, just walk up to that person and strike a conversation. It will ease your heart of so many things. If they feel the same, you could go ahead with the relationship rather than fantasize about the person. Or you can move ahead and find someone else. But you need to work on your being lonely and find good friends. Number 3, they fit into your ideal or fantasy. Sometimes we cook up fantasies of what our ideal partner would be or look like, and when we do find a lookalike of our fantasy in reality, there might be a tendency to idolize them. It's like giving a face to your thoughts and therefore reinforcing that thought, since it can be directed to a living person. Take, for instance, you have always dreamed of meeting a tall, handsome-looking and intelligent guy who can speak Spanish. Our fantasies can sometimes be absurd, or beautiful, gentle, and smart lady who is good with children. We can also decide to be specific on some matters. Then you come across this person in real life or meet them at a party. It might even be in a movie, TV show, or a model you admire. The point is that you have already made them an ideal in your heart. Already, and now that you have met someone with those specific attributes, you cannot stop thinking about them. You're likely to dream about how you will meet them, propose or accept a proposal, and eventually be together. The best you can do here is get out of your head and face reality. Fantasy is not reality, and what you observe from your subconscious may not be real. The sooner you understand this, the easier it becomes for you to stop being obsessed with someone. Number 4, they intrigue you. We can easily get attracted to mysterious people, and because we cannot figure them out, we tend to think about them more often than the normal person. It's like trying to solve a puzzle or a riddle. Until you have an answer to that puzzle or riddle, you keep turning it over and over in your mind. People can also be like this. Until you solve the mystery of who they are and what makes them tick, you might find yourself constantly thinking about them. Number 5, you use them as a form of distraction. We all have a form of escape from real-life troubles when they get too much to face. Some take a nap, some choose to watch movies, and others spend time with friends or go drinking. For some, thinking about a particular person is an escape from their problems. They keep up the habit until it becomes a regular and constant thing. Since thinking about that person distracts them from the unpleasant things that they have to face, it becomes an act they indulge in on a regular basis. It becomes a bad thing when you make it a habit. If you need to think of someone as a means of escaping all your problems, think about God and His words. Number 6, you cannot get over the past. This usually applies in the case of an ex. Sometimes you can get stuck thinking about what could have been. You find it difficult moving on from the relationship. When you find it difficult moving on from the past, you tend to reminisce on the memories shared in the relationship. You might even go as far as trying to find out who they're with, what they're doing with their lives, or if they still think about you, especially when the other person has moved on with their life. The best thing to do is to cut them off. Stop talking to them. Stop stalking them on social media and reduce to the barest minimum your level of communication. Focus on your life and develop yourself. Love yourself more and think about ways you can improve. Go out and socialize with people and give no room for those thoughts. You have to get your life back on the race and running. That is one only way you will get out of obsessively thinking about someone you cannot have. Besides, as you focus on yourself, you will meet people who will love you and make you fall in love again.